Good afternoon. It's Adam, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Real Life Real Tarot. And today we're going to do a case scenario just because I am taking a break from Reddit and providing readings to randoms. And I thought I would present a scenario that I was hoping and looking forward to actually working on. And yes, I'm gonna basically give you the gist, and then I'll give you the detail. All right. So the gist is, I started an affair with a coworker. We're both married. Now she wants to leave her husband and wants me to leave my wife. And let's have a look at the detail. What started as a secret escape to help me cope with the monotony of my marriage has suddenly turned into a terrifying ultimatum that threatens to bring my entire world crashing down. I was comfortable juggling these two separate lives, but now that she wants us both to leave our spouses, the reality of destruction we've invited is finally hitting me. I'm paralyzed by a massive spike in anxiety, realizing that the safe fantasy we built is being replaced by a choice that will permanently alter every life involved. I need the cards to help me look past the thrill of the affair and see the cold reality of what I'm about to lose or what I'm actually choosing. So, what's the question? I'm going with okay. This is an interesting question. So basically, what our guy is asking us is, how can I strip away the excitement of the secret to see if this connection has the foundation to survive in the real world? That's a fair point. Without passing judgment, it's not our roles as tarot card readers to pass judgment on our querents' lives or the choices they've made. It's simply to give them clarity on what their choices will mean for them, but also I think why they chose what they chose and what led up to it. Now, our querent wants to know basically if this connection with his love affair has merit, it's worth pursuing, or should he stay in his current relationship? And that's a valid point. I've known people who have chosen that, who have made that choice to end up with their affair, and they've had happy lives. And I've also known people who kind of tried that and ended up with nothing because it just didn't work out. And so I kind of get it. Now, I often, as you might have seen from my previous videos, often do a box spread, a 3x3 card reading, but I'm going to try something different and just do 5 cards and pull out as much detail that I think will help this scenario. So let's have a look. The current energy of the relationship. Key strength of the relationship. Key challenge of the relationship. Something the relationship requires. And future possibility. Something the relationship requires. And the future possibility of the relationship. Now, for the purpose of clarity, we're looking at the relationship with the love affair, not the future of his current marriage. Let's have a look and see what we can find. But before I do, I'm going to have a quick camera check to see, yep, all the cards are in view. Okay. We see the Two of Cups reversed, which is the current energy of the relationship. Now, the Two of Cups typically depicts two people, a budding relationship. Budding relationship. We see a man and a woman making a toast. Um, yeah, and it's a blessed relationship, as we can tell by the angelic figure around them. We also see the caduceus staff of Hermes or something like that, where there's two snakes entwined. And often this card can symbolize a healing relationship, a relationship that helps you recover and helps you grow. If I were looking at a Marseille deck, the Two of Cups often depicts choices as well, where you've got to pick one or the other in order to advance. Now, this card is reversed. And what it can tell me is that the relationship may not be all that it seems. Perhaps, this is not a harmonious attraction. Perhaps this is something that was designed to fill a void rather than heal you. It's a querent is in a relationship, a marriage, and that it hasn't been working out. And it's clear that he's been dissatisfied or unhappy with how things have been going. This card kind of tells me that the love affair that he had, rather than actually helping him realize what he needs and, nurturing him, it's kind of been more of an escape, a way to actually deal with the monotony and perhaps the dissatisfaction he's been feeling in his current marriage. So that's basically where his mindset is at, So he's unhappy. He's unhappy with the situation. There's a break. Perhaps this card depicts his current marriage, but we're also looking at the future of the love affair as well. And I feel that this card kind of tells me more about that than his current marriage. But let's have a look at what the other cards mean before we draw any more conclusions. The key strength of the relationship. Okay, so what does his love affair bring to the table that perhaps he might be missing? And we see the Ace of Swords. A lone character here walks down a major blade held by a massive creature, a massive person. The Ace of Swords represents messages, communication, ideas, victory, the thought of, I guess, a freedom of expression. And perhaps, I guess, if his marriage and his current relationship, there hasn't been much communication, dialogue, the spicy love affair kind of suggests that the one thing he likes the most about it is he can be more communicative. He can be more open with himself and express himself, his interests freely, whether they're romantic or whether they're just ideas and feelings. Whether they're sexual expression or whether it's just ideas and the way he thinks. The key strength of his relationship, his love affair, is the fact that it allows him to communicate. It allows him that opportunity to actually be and express himself the way he wants to. So, what's the challenge of his relationship? Well, the love affair. Another ace, and ace reversed. Interesting. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands, unlike the Ace of Swords, focuses more, I guess, on sexual interest, new pathways, creative energy, creative advancement. I guess having a burst of idea or something towards that expresses what you value. Ace of Wands are often a great card to actually help you figure out that spark of, that sexual spark. But also, like, if you've been having issues with a crisis, like with your values and what you want to do for yourself. When it's reversed, this card can be read as someone, is that expression that creative outbursts might be stifled. So how does it translate to his love affair. Perhaps, I guess, if his love affair isn't purely sexual, what it can tell me is that perhaps his love affair isn't about the sex. I thought all love affairs were. My bad. It can also be one that basically doesn't align with his values, or one that he doesn't see a future in. Ones are often about direction, like life direction and paths. And if it's not about the sex, it's about the path. So what I think this card suggests is that our querent, hasn't really considered this to be a real and genuine path forward. And that kind of that also comes from the way this is all reading as well. He's paralyzed by a massive spike in anxiety. He's like freaking out because this is not something he's genuinely thought about. He was quite content to actually keep it as is. And that's because he hasn't really seen a future with his love affair. So, something the relationship requires. The Fool. The Fool, here we see a character by the moon, by the looks of it. Our character stares at a bat, and as they stare, they walk gaily forward, unsure of where to go, but not really, but trusting the universe that they will provide, and hopefully it actually does. So the Fool card often talks about new journeys, new paths being forged, and having the trust in the universe that it is the right choice to make. So what I think the message is for a querent is that this relationship requires a little bit of trust in the universe, that this is the right path forward. That you may actually need to start this relationship with nothing but what's on your back and simply move forward. It's not easy being in a relationship, one way or the other. It's not easy breaking out or separating out from a long-term committed relationship. But if that relationship, if your current marriage doesn't serve you in any way, if it's not bringing you joy, the hardest part is simply to actually break with it and to find something that does, even if it means risking nothing or risking everything. This card, however, says is that you need to take that chance if you want it to grow. It's also a very positive card, so it's technically one that it looks very encouraging towards the relationship. So, what is the future possibility of the relationship? And I think our querent wants to know this one the most. Okay, we have the Lovers. Now, the Lovers doesn't often talk about a sexual connection, but what it does talk about is connection in itself, a spiritual connection. It talks about communication and simply recognizing or realizing that the person you might have before you is someone who actually nourishes and nurtures you quite deeply and feels that disconnection that you might have been feeling all the while, which is probably why you've stayed with it for so long. So the future possibility of this relationship is one where that can end in a happy relationship. The Lovers upright is a very favorable card to receive in a relationship reading. So I guess this card basically confirms that if you are considering it, you should. If you are considering it, then the universe will be on your side, and it's likely that this person might be the one for you, as scary as that seems to be. So let's have a look again. I'll do a recap. We see first that the current energy is choices, and perhaps your current relationship situation hasn't really been one that has served you well. this card being reversed signifies the opposite of connection. There has been a separation and a break, where that love that you might have shared with your partner, your wife, I mean, has not been as nurturing in quite a long time. So yeah, and as a result, you're in the situation that you're in. I did say earlier that this, I think, represented the relationship with the love affair. I do believe this signifies more his current situation with his wife. So, what does that mean? The key strength of your relationship with your love affair is the fact that you are both communicative. It might be something that you need, and you probably weren't getting from your current relationship. But what it kind of suggests is that, yeah, you are getting it from your current love affair. It allows you to express yourself freely. It allows you to, be the person you want to be. And yeah, that's probably why you've kept it for so long. Both of you are communicative. Both of you are also on the same page as well. You find a sense of freedom in the relationship that you are with. The drawback, I think, the challenge that you're experiencing is that for the first time in your life, you're actually seeing the potential future, because in the past, you have never actually seen this as anything more than a cathartic release in your current, like from your current unhappy marriage. And so this is something that you're going to have to work through in order to actually create a direction. So something that this relationship requires, and this neatly flows onto this one, the Fool. The Fool basically talks about new journeys and new paths being forged, and with a little bit of like resources to help you and a lot of trust in the universe to ensure that you're going to be supported. The Fool is all about traveling light, and it's likely if you do end up pursuing a divorce, you may not actually end up taking a lot with you, but new relationships don't require a lot. You know, so trust that this is going to work out. Um, yeah. Finally, we see the future possibility of the relationship, and we have the Lovers card. The Lovers signifies, I guess, a deep and spiritual connection, and it seems that the relationship you have with your love affair basically will grow, and you will come to actually see the value of this relationship to your life. It signifies what you have been missing, which is a connection. Sorry, I forgot to turn this upside down. Oh no, that was right side up. My bad. Okay, so is there anything else I can glean from this? First of all, what is interesting is you've got two aces here and the Fool, which is all beginning cards. They're all new cards. The cards that signify newness. And so, and generally, there's a lot of excitement and energy that comes with that. But what it kind of also tells me is that there have been, while there have been drawbacks in your current relationship, it kind of seems that your current relationship being a Two of Cups means that it hasn't really developed into this long and happy marriage. Like, it's not like you've been stuck in a rut. It's like perhaps it was great once upon a time, but it never ventured on to actually becoming more nurturing as time went by. It simply kind of stalled after the marriage perhaps commenced. So, yeah. The other part of what I'm seeing is that you can be more of yourself. So one of the big things about the love affair is that, you become more communicative, you become more expressive. And it's something you've been missing all your life. Whether you choose to actually have a happy a relationship, like a committed relationship with your love affair or not, what this reading does suggest is that connection, spiritual connection and communication is something you deeply value and is deeply important to you. And you've been getting it from your love affair as opposed to your marriage. So You could choose not to go with the option, like, you could choose not to actually be, I guess, pushed into breaking up with your wife. You could choose to give it another go and see if there's an opportunity to actually find the communication within your current marriage. But what this reading is saying, simply on the information provided, is that the partner, your love affair, may be worth considering as an option given what it brings for you. So that's my reading for you. I hope you find it useful. Do let me know what you think, dear viewers. And thank you for listening. If you like what I do, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a wonderful night.